Thanks for your support as a channel member, Tommy Williams. I think I've just about calmed down from the carnage that was the Dutch Grand Prix, but we have won the last 4 races. And we head to Monza today, which is a bit of a quirky track, given its high-speed nature, lots of straight lines. We're aiming for 5 in a row, but could be tricky. Hello folks, and welcome to episode 49 of Haas with F2 and GP2 champions only. We're getting ready for the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. Happy memories for one Pierre Gasly, championship leader, going back to the site of his maiden Grand Prix victory with Alpha Tauri Bulls Toro Rosso team, whatever you want to call them. We are leading both championships now by a healthy margin. 30 points in the Constructors' Championship because Red Bull have collided with each other in both of the last 2 races and cost themselves big points. And we have a 46 point lead, I think that is, over Max Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. I did work it out earlier, that number's now fallen out of my head, but regardless, Pierre Gasly leading the way in the Drivers' Championship and Felipe Drugovich closing up on the 2 Red Bull drivers. It might be a stretch to suggest that we can have a 1-2 in the World Championship as well as winning the Constructors' Championship, but we'll give it our best shot and we'll give Felipe every opportunity to do so. But we also need to lock down the driver's title with Pierre. Heading into this race, we do have a new front wing to put on the car. So let's find it and let's bolt it on. There we go. New front wing. I've stopped developing stuff. We probably don't need too much in the way of development to the end of the season. I think our car's quick enough to get ourselves over the line, but we've got cash and we've got development hours if we need it. So it's an ATA qualifying weekend. I'm going to get to practice. I'll see you on track in qualifying. All right, here we are in Q3. We've eased through with a single run in each session, and we look very likely to lock out the front row here. We've had a comfortable margin to everybody else. It's been a bit frightening, to be honest. And we're going to just head straight out into onto the circuit, following Lewis Hamilton, who's at his first Monza Grand Prix with Ferrari. There's some traffic coming out, and that could spoil at least our first lap here. So let's follow Drugovich. He's absolutely going to get some traffic, I think. Both Aston Martins get out of the way. What about Gasly? I think he might have. Oh no, he looks all right actually. He's set the fastest first sector. No traffic issues. Everything going smoothly at the moment. And Drugovich is getting a lovely tow off the back of Hamilton through Ascari. Gasly absolutely flying. And here's Drugovich then around the final corner. Hamilton sets the pace. Drugovich immediately beats it. Gasly beats that by 3.5 tenths. That was a phenomenal lap by Pierre Gasly. I'm not sure we even need to bother running again. We've got just over 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go, and I've just noticed there's somebody missing from qualifying. Can you see it? There's only one Red Bull. I didn't even notice that Max Verstappen hadn't made it to Q3. So Gasly is going to be way ahead of his nearest championship rival. Russell at the moment is only 10th. We might as well go out and do another lap. We'll send Gasly first, and then Drugovich can follow. They're on fresh tyres. Let's see what they can deliver. But Verstappen, I don't even actually know where he's qualified. We'll have to find out after the session. Yeah, absolutely stunning. Let's see what the boys can deliver then on this final run. I'm expecting Drugovich to be much closer than 3.5 tenths to his teammate. He's made a personal best first sector, which is interesting. Not the fastest of all, so it would be a bit ironic if Gasly gives him a tow and he gets pole position. But we've seen that go. Russell goes second, so it's actually very important now that Drugovich strings his lap together, which in the middle sector, he is not. He's 2 tenths slower than Gasly on this lap alone. Leclerc sneaks into third. Gasly's secure in pole. Drugovich doesn't improve, and we're first and fourth on the grid. So much for locking out the front row. So it's another pole position for Pierre Gasly by almost 0.2 of a second. Drugovich, a sloppy Q3. Should have been quicker in that first run when he had the tow from Hamilton. Definitely should have been faster when he had the tow from Gasly. But importantly, it's 2 versus 1 in terms of us versus Red Bull. Ferrari do have a dog in the fight, but they've not been particularly quick. Max Verstappen is 14th. How have Red Bull managed to do that? This isn't the start from last save, Max. Wrong save. Very straightforward one-stop strategy. Mediums to hards for both drivers. No underfueling. It's because you lose so much time in the pit lane because everyone else is on track going mega fast. It just doesn't make sense to stop twice. If there's a safety car or VSC, we might consider stopping, but it's just a one-stopper. So let's get to the grid and move Drugovich to the front and get Gasly to the top step of the podium. We've got 4. We want 5 wins. We do have 5 red lights. The lights are out. The race is on. Pierre Gasly gets not such a good start. George Russell on soft tyres out-launches us. That's a spanner in the works. Drugovich, what are you up to? Losing a position to Piastri as Leclerc looks to come through. We've lost 2 positions from pole position. Well, that's not the start we were looking for, is it? We're down 2 places with Gasly, down a place with Drugovich. What's Piastri doing? Is he look? Oscar, mate, thank you. We don't want to be losing any more positions. We do want to be getting positions back though, and well, at least it makes the race interesting. We're not running off into the distance, so I suppose that's good for content, but also we want the points. Felipe, what are you doing behind a Sauber? In the first few laps, he's just dropped out of a second to Piastri and now has been overtaken by Bottas. Yes, everybody is on soft tyres apart from Hamilton, who's on hards, and then us, who's actually just had a lock-up, interestingly. But we're just so slow compared to everybody else. Gasly almost out of DRS range to the 2 at the front. We've got another yellow flag. Who was that? Albon running wide. We need to pick up the pace, but we need these tyres to make the distance. It's really tricky. We should get DRS here against Leclerc and Russell, but those 2 are fighting it out at the front, and that's not particularly easy for us to overtake. Drugovich, are you overtaking Bottas? Looks like it. That'll do. Come on. Deploy the battery and take the position. We did put new engine and gearbox components in for this race, and weirdly, we don't have a power advantage. Oh, Drugovich is off and on the track. A bit wide. That was a lot wide, mate. Let's watch that in like normal time. He's just driven straight off the circuit and rejoined. I mean, at least he didn't stop on the outside, which I suppose is something. Drugovich is continuing to scrap it out with Bottas. They're toing and froing for 5th position. Drugovich has actually got minor underfloor damage, which is going to be hurting his pace, which is why he's got a swarm of green cars all around him. Literally, the Saubers and the Astons have come to play. If it is green, it's near to Felipe Drugovich's gearbox. So that's probably his race kind of, I say ruined, but, you know, heavily compromised. Let's focus on what Pierre Gasly's doing, which is just observing this battle. I'm going to put him on low overtake aggression because I'm just going to let them 2 wear their tyres out, which they're doing. So they can keep doing that. They'll box early and get an undercut, but we might be able, well, we won't be able to overcut them, but we will have much better tyres once they've stopped. We might even be ahead of Leclerc here. Can we go around the outside of the parabolica? No room there. But we do go up the inside of Russell. Do we get the position on the exit? We have. So Gasly might yet start taking the lead of this race. And indeed, Pierre Gasly does now lead this race. He's overtaken Charles Leclerc. I'm assuming into the Ascari chicane. Yeah. DRS down the inside. Soft tyres starting to lose their advantage, and the mediums coming into their own, and thanks very much, we'll now lead this race. I'm wondering if we switch Dragovic's strategy up a little bit. Let's have a look at his tyres that he's got available. He's got 2 used sets of softs and a brand new set. So I'm wondering if we can't switch him to a 2-stop. I know you lose time, but if we pit him for softs, lap 16, and then we add another set of softs here, can we make it to the end? It will be touch and go. I mean, we could put him on a set of used set of mediums. So we could do a really fast stint on the softs in the middle and then come out and be on better tyres again for the final sort of 20 laps or so. Do you know what? I'm going to do that. We're going to switch his strategy and see if we can move him forwards, because at the moment he's just going to keep going backwards. So Felipe into the pit lane. What we don't want is a shoddy pit stop. Verstappen has only got himself to 11th so far. 3.5 seconds, not terrible. But now we can bang in some lap time and maybe undercut at least undercut Alonso, maybe close in on Piastri. So let's be aggressive with the tyres and push with the engine and see what we can achieve. So Felipe Drugovich has just passed Oscar Piastri, who came out of the pit lane and has switched to hard tyres. The pop-up keeps going in front of the leaderboard, so I can't see what they're on. I think it's hards, yeah. There you go. It's hard tyres. So the undercut has worked really well for Felipe, as Gasly is losing the lead around the outside to Russell. So Gasly is still a few laps out from his pit stop. Everybody else boxing off of their softs to go to hards. Pierre Gasly heading to the pit lane, leaves the circuit in the lead. He won't return in P1, but the question is, how far behind Leclerc and Russell are we going to be? Where is Leclerc? He's coming down the pit lane. The pit straight. Russell goes through as well. So we are a few seconds adrift of Leclerc. In fact, we are 7 seconds clear. What's going on? I think Piastri's off the track. Yes, he is. I have a feeling that Felipe Drugovich is involved in this. He absolutely is. Piastri's sending it down the outside. And, oh, well, that's damage to our wing. Great. Thank you, Piastri. So, yes, now front wing and underfloor damage for Drugovich. This race is completely mudded now. Here's your leading quartet then as we approach lap 30. Lewis Hamilton just dropping down to 3rd place. Leclerc and Russell have made their way past the 2nd Ferrari in this race, and Gasly is closing in quickly. We'll deploy some of this energy that we've got. We've got a significant tyre advantage. Look, massively over Hamilton. He's yet to stop, but it's some 10% over the two who are squabbling for the lead. So come the end of the race, they're going to be in a tricky position. We'll be able to attack. Felipe Drugovich has kind of steadied things a little bit. He's in 6th place behind Fernando Alonso. We will have to stop again. We've committed to that now. So it's just, a few laps out, and then we put him on some mediums and we be really quick up against everyone else with hard tyres. Gasly round the outside of Hamilton, takes 3rd place. Gap to the lead, 2.5 seconds. This win is very much still on. And there you go, we are into the lead. I think we've just made 2 overtakes in 1 lap. Round the outside of the 2nd Lesmo for Pierre Gasly as he passes Charles Leclerc. DRS gets us into the lead. And then we've gone ahead and we are actually still wheel to wheel with Russell, who has the DRS and will retake that lead. So we were momentarily in front. Drugovich has rejoined in 18th. So it's going to be a bit of an arse to get to the points. But, well, I suppose we might have thrown away points here. But I would say that we changed to the 2-stop because he was going to lose places anyway. So this probably wasn't... Wow, that's a nice move. I enjoyed that. This probably wasn't too much worse than what was likely to happen anyway. Right, I have stored up Pierre Gasly's battery so that we can go on a massive attack here. We're going down the inside, 13 laps remain, and we take the lead. We're now attacking, deploying, pushing, everything you like to defend and basically try and get away from George Russell here. We have some lap traffic not too far ahead. The two AlphaTauris are there. We've got a yellow flag. Oh, Drugovich. Dude. No worries, the race isn't over. It's over. That's it. I've lost my patience with you today, Felipe Drugovich. Get in the garage. You are not being allowed out to play anymore. Right, for Pierre Gasly. Make me happy again and win this race, please. Charles Leclerc, who said you could take the lead away from us? What is he doing? I thought we'd cleared this lot, but apparently we didn't. The power of DRS. That's what's brought them back into play. But it's also what's going to get us back into the lead. There we go. Thanks very much, Pierre. We'll take the lead for Haas once more. Don't know why we have to move across to defend there, but that's fine. We retained the lead. We'll lose it down the pit straight here. This might just be a set it up for the final lap job. Make sure we are making the move on the last lap. Although Leclerc doesn't go in front here. Or at least maybe have loads of battery for the final lap. Right, we have got a fully discharged ERS. We're going to ask Pierre Gasly to try and make the move, but he is not. I was kind of hoping we'd be able to escape here, but it's not going to work. Oh, well, actually, we're going to go up the inside of the Curva Grande. Don't worry about it. Pierre's got it all in hand, lads. Don't listen to me. Pierre Gasly runs the show here. He's the boss. He's the big dog. And we're back in the lead. And that overtake was the one that broke it broke the straw on the camel's back. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. That's the phrase I'm looking for. We're now nearly 4 seconds in the lead, and Leclerc is having to fend off Russell in the background. But Max Verstappen has only got himself to 5th place, which means Pierre Gasly will take 15 points out of him in their battle for the championship, which is quickly moving towards Pierre Gasly's favour, and he's going to take a 4th win in 5 races here. We are still driving in clean air. Could have been going even faster, but we don't need to. We are absolutely fine. We're going to just be very careful through Ascari. We've seen it go wrong here before with French drivers. Pierre Gasly shows that he's better than Esteban Ocon because he doesn't throw away victory at Monza on the final lap. Round the Parabolica. It's a little bit hard fought, but we got the job done in the end. It's 5 wins in a row. Pierre Gasly is so on course for the World Championship, and Haas are on top once again. We are top and also bottom because Drugovich, I had him rage quit essentially. That's what we did, but we also won the race with Pierre ahead of Leclerc and Russell. So the Tifosi gets something to shout about. Shout out to Oliver Behrman. P6 for Sauber. Go on, lad. So I think that's the 7th victory of the season for Pierre. Our 8th, I'm pretty sure if I'm counting them correctly, that's Drugovich hiding his face because all the mistakes he made today. Although admittedly the Piastri one wasn't his mistake. That wasn't his fault. Gasly, the first time he's won the same race twice, because this was the only one he won before he joined us. So he lifts that trophy. The French national anthem is blasting once again, as will be the Stars and Stripes. Or is it Star Spangled Banner? That's the one it is, isn't it? But who cares? Haas are winning. I'm clearly delirious from all the champagne we've been drinking this year, and it's just a good job that I don't let Pierre have too much of it, because otherwise we'd be in a much worse off position. And we're getting very used to this at Haas, aren't we? Too used to it. Look at that, just a simple shake of the hands, pat on the back. Great job, lads. Well done, everybody. And Pierre Gasly is a winner once more. We didn't get the fastest lap, unfortunately, but we've only lost 2 points. Despite Drugovich's dismal day, we've lost only 2 points to Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship, so the lead is 28 points. Pierre Gasly now has a, 45 plus 14, 59 8-point lead. If my maths is correct, that is absolutely astonishing. There's 2 race wins and a 6th place that he's got in hand, and he'd still have a 1-point lead, even if that's all that Verstappen achieved and Gasly scored no points. So it's Gasly's 6th race win of the season. Drogovic has just one, so our 7th win of the year. But 5 rounds to go. Gasly looking very well set for the World Championship, and we are just about in control of the constructors now. We need to avoid more days like today for Felipe, because that just wasn't good enough. And yeah, we were able to get the job done with Pierre Gasly. I will hold my hands up and say Drogovic's day was kind of very much on the back foot once we switched into the 2-stop, but the damage to the car meant we were probably just going to fall backwards anyway. I wanted to do something about it. I didn't want to just sit there and let him fall down the order. I wanted to give him a chance, but he ran into other incidents, so that's racing. Anyway, on to the next round, which I believe is Singapore. So make sure you join me for the Singapore Grand Prix, where we'll be going for 6 wins in a row with Haas. I'll see you there. Make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on the video for me. Subscribe for more F1 Manager content. We're down to the last 5 episodes now of Haas. It's been a wonderful journey, and we're going to sign it off on a high. You're the best fans. It's bye for now. We'll be right back.